So you've probably all got the email, obviously, because you got the link to come in. Wesley is unable to join us today because they moved the Dutch squad session, which we did know at the beginning of the month. Wasn't sure if we were going to move the lesson, but we found probably a better replacement than both of us in this lovely young lady next door. I'm not often nice to her, so I'm being nice to her today because she's done us a favour. No, appreciate you stepping in as always, she and Janine. So today we're going to work on some kicks. Jackie, I wasn't lying when I said you won't be needing your arms today, but I was lying when maybe I said jumping spinning kicks. So we're going to be working, it's all technical based because it's a technical Thursday today. So we're going to be working on kicks, various kicks, delivery, hip movements, etc., etc. I'm going to do the warm up for a change because Wesley's not around. No warm up, Wes. And we're going to have a change of stretching with she and Janine rather than myself at the end. In between, we're going to work on the same format. She and Janine will do a kick, I'll do a kick, flip back and forth, and then we'll see where the time takes us. And hopefully we get through a fair few. Any questions? You know what to do. The chat is there. Any words from you, magnificent Janine?
No, nothing. I think we'll just work it out as we go along. But the only thing, if there's a kick somebody would like to particularly do, perhaps they could put it in the chat because we haven't decided what we're doing. We're just...
Nope, exactly.
So if there's a particular kick, and then if there's something I can't do, Sensei Darren can do it.
What's that, Toby Ishiro Mawashi, Jackie? Okay, she and Janine can go up first with that one. Thank you. Damon's like that. No. So anyway, let's do a quick warm up. It's belting hot where I am, so I'm sure it won't take much, but it's still important to warm up a little bit. Okay, right. So there we are. Rotate the hips. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, hach, ki, ju. On the other way. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, shish, ach, ki, ju. So what we're going to do is push forward twice and back twice. Try and keep your hands on the hips at the moment, so you're feeling the hip flexors, and then when you go forward, you're using the hamstrings to control the movement a bit. Okay, so on the count of ich, you'll go 1, 2 to the front, knee, 1, 2 to the back, and just keep going. Okay, ich, 1, 2, knee, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju. 10 more. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk, ish, ach, ki, ju. Yeah. Shake them loose a little bit. Okay, so leg up to the front, just the knee pulling it in. Ich, up and hold. From there, just turn it sideways. Out to the side. This time, open up that hip. And back onto the thigh. And again, relax. Other leg up. And just rotate from there. Out to the side. And behind. Relax. Okay. Legs just a little bit wide. Just change this view slightly. little bit wide there. Okay, so we're going to go down to the right, circle out in front, to the left, and back up. Down to the left, circle around to the right, back up. Nice slow movement, so when I count each, we go down, full circle round, back up. Knee, opposite direction again. Try and use that momentum. Here will be hamstrings. Here, we're going through to the buttocks and the hips, back to the other hamstring, and then back up. Okay, all good? So 1, 2, we've got 10 to go. Ready? Edge, down, circle around, back, up. Knee, down, circle around. Sun. She. Good. Rook. Ish. Ach. Good. Last one. Cheers. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we're just going to be warming up. Just some loose KRT'ers again. We're not completely warm at the moment, but before we go on to Xian Janine in a couple of minutes, we just want to get some looseness coming back into those hamstrings and rotations on the hips a little bit. So we're just going to be there, just nice and loose. We've got 10 KRT'ers on the right, 10 KRT'ers on the left, 10 sotos, 10 sotos, 10 uchis, 10 uchis. The count will not be fast. All we're trying to do is go for a nice position, however high you can get it. It's not a competition. It's about stretching your body, warming it up to try and get ready for jumping spinning kicks as per Jackie's request. Okay, ready? So right leg first. H. Knee. Nice and easy. Sun. No strain. She. Go. Rook. Ish. Ish. Kill. Cheer. Yeah. And on three. Change legs. My KRT. H. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rock. Ish. Ish. Kill. Shit. Okay, Soto. Now, don't worry too much about the height, but try and get a nice wide circle. Obviously, if you get a really wide circle and the height, fantastic. But what I'd like you to do is to try and get as much rotation out of this hip as possible. You can pick it up to the side, all the way around. Don't forget to pivot this foot so we get maximum movement rather than keeping this foot straight and then just having it pinch on the buttock a little bit. Probably not going to be one of the kicks we're going to cover today. I don't know, but it's probably not, so I might as well just put out that bit of information now. Okay, 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Ready? H. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rock. Ish. Ish. Kill. Cheer. And other leg. H. Knee. Sun. She. Ush. Ush. Hit. Cheer. Ante. This time inside out, exactly the same. Try and draw it in. Get a nice wide open. Pivot the foot as we do. Lots of movement in this hip movement. Okay, last turn on each leg, and then we're over to Xianjian. Okay, ready? H. Ni. San. Shi. Ya. Rak. H. H. Hit. Cheer. See people warming up now. Boom, like that. Ready? H. E. San. She. Ya. Rep. Ish. Ish. Hip. And just rotate the hips. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk. And the other way. Ich, ni, san, shi, gu, ruk. Please have a quick drink. Going over to Xianjian. I see Damon was really warm come the end. He's like a helicopter whizzing those Uxis through. So hopefully that means the rest of you are good to go also. Get yourself a drink. Over to you. This technical kata queen.
So we'll start on a nice easy one. Just a straight line kick. We'll start on my Gary. Okay? Nice and slowly, just because your legs are still warming up. I apologise in advance. I've got a problem with my left hamstring. So if you see me struggling on the left, the hamstring. If you see me struggling on the right, it's because I can't do the kick. But if it's the left, the hamstring, okay? So, from here we go. We'll start from a fighting stance. Okay? Fight stance. Come on, sit. We're going to break it down. I want you to concentrate, first of all, on something that I do a lot with children. We find when children struggle to do a Chusoku position. So I always tell them, I say it's cheating. It's not cheating at all. But the first movement when I get a child to do my geri is to come up on the ball of their back foot. To push the toes back so that the foot is in that position. They only need to maintain that position then, rather than having to try and pull the toes back. Because what you'll say to a child, pull the toes back, and then they'll go from there to there, rather than into that position. So what we're going to do is on it, just roll up on the ball of the back foot. So we've got a Chusoku position. Yes. Back. Knee. Back. San. Shi. Go. And down. Ish. Knee. San. Shi. Go.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're going to come up onto that ball of the foot position and then just come forward with the knee. Okay, from here, we're taking it forward, but I want you to think about your knee driving forward. So it's there, hold, and back. There, but make sure you got that good Chusoku position so that it's ready for when you're going to kick. Okay? On a little bit. Ish. And back. Knee. Concentrate on getting that Chusoku position. San. Shi. Go. And down. Ish. Knee. and hand down. This time we're going to do the whole kick, but make sure you keep that knee nice and high. What you don't want to do is keep the knee low, so that you end up scooping the maigeri. You need to bring the knee up, so that you get a good drive on the maigeri. But you can only get a good drive if your knee is high. There and then back, okay? From stance, one full kick and back, but nice and slowly. So think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4. So you control your leg at this stage. In fact, we'll do by numbers, okay? Up, it, kick knee, back san, down she. There's 4 counts. Up, it, knee, san, she. Ish, knee, san, she. Ish, knee, san, she. Ish, knee, san, she. And down. Same again. Each one to count to 4. Okay, you'll find your legs will hurt doing this because you're trying to control the leg movement, but if you can get the right position when it comes to flowing, it'll be a much stronger kick. So, count to 4. Ish, knee, san, she. Ish, knee, san, she. Ish, knee, san, she. Ish, knee, san, she. Last one. Ish, knee, san, she.
Yeah.
And hand down. Okay, now you're going to do the whole kick, just through and back. Okay, but what I want you to think about, you've got your knee nice and high, you've worked on your balls of position, you're thinking about your hip. You need to drive your hip through. What I don't want to see is your hip in that position when you kick. So from here, it's not kicking there, you need to kick through. The only way to do that is to turn on the ball of the supporting foot. Okay, don't try and keep your front foot pointing forward because you're fighting against your own hips then. You need to pivot on that supporting foot so that you can get the hip driving through. So on this 5, you're thinking about driving the leg through and then back, still in a fighting stance. Okay. Ish, knee, san, she, go.
Shia.
Hand down. And knee high. Ish, knee, drive that leg in. San, she, go.
Shia.
And now ready. Okay, we're just going to do 10 more each leg. We're going to do from zen to dachi, so that you've got it further to stretch in your kick, so you're getting used to really driving that leg forward. It's much easier to do it from a fighting stance than from a zen to dachi. Okay? So from here, for dachi, yoi! Right leg back to zen to dachi. Come on, Darren. Head on the eye. Okay, so you're going to kick and come back into Zen Dachi after each kick. Think about the ball of the foot, think about the knee high, think about the hip, and driving forward. Ish, knee, san, she, go, rock, sage, hash, Q, Ju, hand down. Ish, knee, san, she, go, rock, sage, hash, turn on the ball and support your foot. Q, Ju, Si. And now ready. Okay. Let's just shake yourselves loose and get yourselves a drink. Very warm today.
Huh?
Very warm here today.
Oh, yeah, here too. I had to open my door up a little bit. Just give me
Yeah, I just opened mine.
All right, show off, just because you've got like bifolds going all the way along. For those of you that haven't seen Janine's dojo, it's rather fantastic. The thing is, because she's teaching today, she's probably really having to concentrate and not looking outside over the valleys. You look at her normally when she's training, she's just like that. Admiring the view. No, she's not really. She's not really. Okay, so I'm going to work on Hizumawashi to start off with. It's not a kick we normally use, but it helps with development for other kicks. And as Janine rightly pointed out, the knee is the most important start for all the kicks, apart from Kiyage, which is a straight leg. But every other kick, it always starts with a bent leg, and then it extends, comes back, and then back in position. Okay, so we're going to work on a couple of versions. We're going to work on a version where we come around, real basic version for Hizumawashi, and then we're going to work on one that comes up flatter, and then we rotate through at the end. So it's a more efficient one. Maybe it feels a little bit more awkward for a lot of people because of the hip rotation, but hey, let's work on both and see where we get to. Okay, again, we're going to start off in a fighting stance just as Shi and Janine did. So, Kamadachi, hoi! Okay, shooter, left leg forward. Right, so for the moment, what I want us to do is take a really long approach through this technique. Okay, much like we did with the Soto and the Uchi Kiyage, a real good hip rotation. And one of the things that Shi and Janine was talking about is the pivot on the foot, which is incredibly important if you want to be walking around later on in your life, for those that are later on in their life, later on in your life. Okay, so what we're looking to do is come up, and then we're going to pivot the foot to start off with. Okay, so we're going to come up to the side, pivot the foot round to the front, pivot, and then we come back. So effectively the kick comes to the side, taking a real long approach. The foot does the movement back in. So as with Shi and Janine's slow count here, you will probably feel a little bit of pressure building up in the hip. Don't worry, we're only doing 5 on each leg to keep it at a low rep. Okay, everybody understand? Up to the side. Let me show you my foot just in case we are not on the same page. We're coming up to the side, pivot, pivot, back. Okay, and try and keep nice round plane. Even if it's Gedan, Chudan, or Jordan on the knee, it's not important. We're just looking to cooperate that twist with the knee coming round at the moment. 5 and 5. Ready? So, itch, up, around, back, down. Knee, up, twist, twist, down. You're probably feeling it pinch, lower back. Sun, up, twist, back, down. Shi, up, twist, back, down. Last one. Go! And ante, onto everybody's probably good leg. Okay, ready? Itch, up, twist, twist, back. Remember, try and twist the body through just with the pivot on the foot. Knee, up, twist, twist, back. San. Shi. Go. And just relax those hips. Little circle one way, circle the other way. Probably most of you are probably feeling a little bit of pressure here, where you're having to hold up, twist through, and then come back. That's fine. You need to bear in mind for kicking, lower back, try to loosen it off. Hip flexors, very important. Hamstrings, very important as well. So do think about those areas. Right. So now what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and condense that into the second version. So we're going to come up at an angle, twist through and back. At the moment, what I want you to do is still twist this foot to get that nice rotation at the end. If you are flexible like me, you can probably cheat the system, and I don't need to pivot that much there, but I don't recommend it if you're very tight. Okay, so we're coming up, just off outside the shoulder, twisting back and in. And all we're looking at doing is this. We can all probably do this at a lower level. You twist the foot, and it'll enable you to do it at a bit of a higher level. Start off low, perfectly fine. Okay, up, twist in, back, down. 5 on one, 5 on the other leg. Okay, let's go. Ready? Edge, up, twist, back, in. Knee up, twist, back, in. San. Shi. Go. Okay, change legs. Lefty. Ready? Edge. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Okay, good. So, with the knee, it's obviously a very short technique. People seem to forget about doing this, pulling this back, and people tend to do this kind of stuff when they're doing a knee. Now, I'm pretty sure if you did this in a fight to go and knee someone, the person you're kneeing would probably be quite annoyed with you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do an exercise where we're coming here, push, back down. Okay, we're working on keeping this nice and tight. Hold the foot for the time being. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we've got the same, just trying to twist it in, and then we're going to try and do that last movement without holding the leg in 20 kicks time. Okay, so right leg first, hold on. And there, edge, push through back. Knee, push through back. San, push through back. Shi. Go. Good, good. And change the legs. Hold on. Edge. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Good, good. Right. So let's take the foot, twist in, back, twist in, back. Now this can support now with that extra rotation that you're looking for. I suggest pivot that back foot already, bring it up, pivot. So we only need to concentrate on this bit, manipulating that hip to just dip in at the last minute. Okay? Ready? Edge, twist back. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Good, good. Other leg. Edge. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Good. Good. Right. So we're going to be here, up. Okay. Now let's see how strong our hamstrings are. Mine are not the strongest in the world. Openly admit it. Yeah. Shins and knees, they're pretty strong. She's got really good KRT'ers, nice, relaxed muscles behind her knees. You need to make sure you keep this here tight, here, and push through. Not here, up, push through. So when we're at this point, this is what we're looking for, people. Okay? Everybody understand? 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Then we've got the last kick, and then we're going to do 5 of each kick. Good. Okay? Right, let's go. Ready? Up we go. Edge. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Change legs. Try and keep it back here. If you can keep it really tight to your bum, you've probably got really good hamstring muscles. As I said, not so much for me. Edge. but keep it in nice and tight on the way through. 2, 3, 4, go. Okay, last one. I'm going to keep it in, pivot. Okay, just that last rotation through. 5 and 5, and then we've just got a couple of kicks to finish off with before we go back to L technician next to me for the next kick. Ready? Up we go. Edge. Make sure we keep this tucked in. 2, 3, 4, go. And change. Up we go. Ready? Edge. 2, 3, 4, go. Good. Right. 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, we're going to come around. Nice, longer, basic. Here's a washi. Then we got 5 shorter versions. 5, 5, 5 short, 5 short. Okay, then we're done. All done from me. Ready? In a fighting position. H. 2, 3, 4, go. Shia. Ante. Change legs. H. Tuck that knee in. 2, 3, 4, go. Shia. Okay, and now just up, dip in, back down. Okay, same thing. 5. Ready? H. 2, 3. Tuck it in, keep that foot back. 3, 4. I'm just counted there. Go! Shia! No problem. Last 5. One day. H. 2, 3, 4. Go! Shia! And now ready. Ush. Get yourself a quick drink. Think about that knee and all the kicks that we do now, because we're not doing KRT'ers. I'm almost certain on that. So there'll be no straight-legged kicks. None of them are straight-legged kicks. Okay? Over to you.
Okay. We're going to go on to Yokogeri, which is one of my favourites.
Oh, nice.
Now with Yokogeri, what I find, particularly women, if they're supple, they end up scooping their leg rather than driving the leg. As I say, it tends to be more obvious with supple children or flexible women. Men don't tend to do it as badly, the scooping. They tend to drive better. So again, it's all down to the knee. Okay, so all your kicks are down to knee. If you don't lift your knee, my geri, wash geri, everything scoops. All down to the knee. So on Yokogeri, very important that we've got the knee nice and high. Okay. The other thing that stops you scooping, if you rely on your flexibility and don't move your supporting foot, that's what causes the scooping.
Awesome.
To stop the scooping and to get power in your kick, you have to turn on the supporting foot. So whatever direction your kick is going, so if I'm kicking with my right leg out to the side, my left leg has to point in the opposite direction and then back. Okay, always opposite direction. If I was to come to the front, okay, the foot is pointing towards the back. So the main thing to think about to get a good Yokogeri, height of knee, position of the supporting foot. Now, if you've got something to hold on to, we'll do the first two very slowly and holding on to something. So if you've got a chair or wall or something you can grab, can you go and grab it now? Okay. Hopefully you can still see me from here. Okay, so you're going to come from here, you're going to bring your foot up, your knee up nice and high to the side, and make sure you're in a good position, secretary position. Your big toes up, your little toes are down. Now you're going to drive out, only 2 down. They're nice and slow. As you drive out, I want you to hold the leg in that position. It's going to burn. We're going to get that pinch in this sensitive down we talked about in your butter, your glute. I want you to get that, I want you to feel it, okay? So you're going to hold the leg out for a few seconds and then bring it back. But what I want you to concentrate on is this supporting leg. As you kick out, the supporting leg has got to be facing whatever you're holding on to, whether it's a chair, a wall, or whatever, has to turn, okay? So if you watch me first, on count 1, you'll come out. On count 2, you drive out. Count 3, back. Count 4, down. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ready? Ish, knee, sam, she. Up, ish, knee, sam, she. Ish, knee, sam, she. Ish, knee, hold it. Check that foot is in the correct position, support your foot. Sam, she. And last one, ish, knee, sam, she. Okay. Push. We're going to swap sides, but before we swap sides, watch the position of my foot. When I kick, I'm kicking with, how am I going to show you this? The outside edge of my foot here, but the back half, so near the heel. So when I kick, that is what's going to make contact. Then you need to pull your foot back, and your toes need to be lower than your heel. Okay, it's very important that your foot, your kicking foot, is in the correct position there. Okay, so when you do it the other side, think about your kicking foot as well. So if you're holding the wall or whatever you're holding on to, other leg now. So again, 4, up, out, back, down. Push. Knee nice and high. Drive. Knee. Back. Ish. Knee nice and high. Down. Ish. Up. Ish. Drive. Knee. Sam. She. Ish. Knee. Make sure that supporting foot is turned. Sam. She. Ish. Knee, sam, she, ish, knee, sam, she, last one, ish, knee, sam, she. That's good, yeah, right. You see your hips, lift them up a little bit. Some of you will find out quite hard on the hips. We're going to keep doing them to the side, so from a folded action position, but without anything to hold on to. You're going to come up, kick, back, and down. But just from a folded action position, just to get that hip turn, because you only do it half. What we'll do next is so that you do it to the front, so you need to turn more, because hips need to turn through 180 degrees. At the moment, they're turning almost 90. But when you come out on this position, you're going to have to turn them more. So just go to the side to start. We'll put it at you. Bring your hands up and start on the right. Again, it's not slow now because you find it more difficult to control the kick. If you can do the first 3 slow, great. If you haven't got that control of your leg, just do as slow as you can. But I won't count, but try and think of there's 3 different, 2, 3, and then down. Okay, nice and slow. Ish. Good. Knee. Sam. She. And the last one, try and go fast. Go. Lovely. On the other side. Ish. Knee. Sam. She. Now the last one, fast. Go. Yeah. Good. So when you do the fast one, still think about all the positions. Don't just go there, okay? Think about coming up with the knee, So you drive the kick out, okay? Last ones now, we're going to do from a fighting stance position, we're going to do to the front. Okay. Good. Left leg forward into Kamadachi. Mighty. Stir. Okay, so you're going to kick forward and pull the leg back. So your right leg's going to kick first, kick, and back into Kamadachi. Step up. So there's no step, kick in straight back. Try and do it slowish to start, not as slow as you just did on the side, but don't just do it 100%. We'll do 3 slow and then 3 fast. Okay, so just get used to the movement until your hip in so you can get that drive. Awesome. Knee. Sam. That's good. If you can go up to Jordan, brilliant. If you can't, I'd rather you do a good strong two down than a bad Jordan. Now it's 3 nice and fast. Esh. Knee. Sam.
Spear.
Hand down. 6 left on the other side. 3 slowish to start. Esh. Knee. Sam. Now 3 fast. Esh. Knee. Sam. Sure. Lovely. Now right. You're still getting hips. You're all going to have achy hips tomorrow, I think. And
some of them are probably saying I had achy hips already.
and hand fly. Yeah, not everybody's got legs like you. And gaze yourselves a drink. First.
What, short? Is that what you mean? Short legs like me? You're
That's
right.
Flexible to get up there, isn't it? I got the same issue. They had to be flexible or they couldn't work.
I know, right? Short as we are, look how bad the kick would be if we were really stiff. It looked like a kid's kick. See, all you tall people, you take this for granted. It's tough being small, you know. I'm a little bit taller than Janine, but not by a worlds apart that I make out. Okay, right. We are going to work on. How much time do we got left? So I want to do. Okay, I'll do more shigeris. Okay, I'll do more shigeris now, and then we'll see if we get time for the other kick that I'd like to do. So with more shigeris, people are always like, yeah, you know, it's always about my flexibility, this, that, and the other. To a certain extent, you're right. Okay, flexibility plays a huge part in certain circumstances beyond the region. Okay, if you have a certain amount of flexibility, you can deliver a pretty good kick still. Now, it's like, well, how do you know? Because you're flexible, you would never know. You're right. That has always been the case. I've always been quite fortunate. But look at how the body's making up. Look how you go through the kick, and then you can get an idea that even if you are relatively stiff, we can deliver the kick. But most of the problem is with stiffer ranged people is they don't do the thing that Janine has been talking about, and that is pushing the hip forward. Because you're always so concerned about your lack of flexibility, what ends up happening is you end up doing this. And then you're like, it just doesn't get up there. It doesn't get up there for several reasons. You're pinching your hip back. The muscles are really tight once they get out in front then. Whereas if you relax that open a little bit, yes, certain amount of hip joint comes into play, but hopefully we can counteract that through the movement that we go through. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to work on an exercise that I try and teach younger fighters when they start hitting the pads with chudan washis, because they start doing exactly the same thing where they want to just hit it like this. Okay, where really and truthfully you want to make sure that you open that hip and rotate through and allow the hip and the leg to naturally go in the direction it's used to going, aka in open the ball socket, it rotates through. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to just do this. Okay, so it's the same as the start movement that I used with Moshi Hiza. Okay, we're going to condense it down a little bit, but what we're going to do is we're going to there and then fall forward. And each time you fall forward, you need to think about the thing that Shi and Janine said about pivoting this foot open to do the Yokogeri. The same thing has to happen now. We're going to pivot through, and then we're going to land in kind of a shikadachi stroke, if you were really precise, kibadachi position. So at the moment, my foot is pointing forward. When it lands, it's going to be pointing towards the front here. Okay, shikadachi. I've opened my hips. My leg is now looking to point this way. Okay, because if we all did a Moshigeri like this, I'm pretty sure most of you would have a lot better result than trying to do it like this. So we're going to start off with the start of the kick. Here, around, and drop it in front. The reason I want you to drop it in front is because subconsciously, you have to do this opening of the hip to get into that position. Do we all understand what I'm trying to achieve here? Yes, hopefully. Obviously, the flexible ones like Michi, you know, comes natural to you, a little bit of flexibility, but we're trying to really go through that motion. And even if you are flexible, we're trying to go through that motion and eventually create power. That's the important bit, okay? So, here we are, Kamadachi. Okay, sheer, nice and relaxed. You don't have to go long stance, keep it nice and short. Okay, as you come up, pivot, and then drop the foot down into a really bad kiba shikadachi. Okay, one forward and then all the way back. Foot pointing forward, open, drop down. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Okay, ready? 5 and 5. Edge, 1, rotate down. Okay, and back. Knee. San. Shi. Go. And that's how we do on the bad leg. Okay. Remember, the bad leg is only bad because the right leg doesn't like to pivot because you have a better suppleness in that leg. Everybody does it. They think, this can take more, it can move more. I feel better on my right. You know, it just bends a little bit better. But you're stifling the kick because you've got better flexibility in your right. Okay? So twist that foot through. Make sure that when we come through, we are finishing in that shikadachi. Okay? Let's go. Ready? 5. Edge. And back. Knee. San. Shi. Go. And relax. Okay, so now we're going to just work on this movement. Okay? Like I said at the beginning, to the side. This is where we're going to do the moshi. So if I'm here, pick up, kick to the side. I've done all the hard work at this point. My hips are open. They operate quite nicely. Very few of us have got such tight hips that it won't allow this to go. That's very few of you. I accept that there are them people. Okay, but I bet that most of you quite easily can just kick to the side. Okay, so nice and relaxed, out to the side, nice and slow if you want. There is no races. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Be conscious. Make sure it goes to the side. This is not the side. This is start to activate different muscles and different flexibility ranges. There. To the side. To the side. Okay? Let's go. Ready? So Shi and Janine is doing it from the front. I'll do it from the side. You can see both actions. Ready? Right leg. 5. H. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Ante. I'll do it to the front again. Shi and Janine from the side. H. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Okay, and just relax it off. Now we're going to put that together. Okay. So think about what we already did. We came here. We drop down. Okay. I still want us to drop down in the front because I want us to subconsciously think about that good rotation, getting that hip forward and opening those stiffer hips for the stiffer range people of you. Okay. So don't worry about the technique of when you land. Worry about the process to the end of the kick and then just let it drop for now. Okay. So what we're going to do is here, one, drop. Okay. Don't roll it through. That's not what I'm asking for. Here, one, down. Okay. Open, rotate, drop down. Okay. Just drop it down. Don't worry about landing in the perfect stance. Out, down. Roughly a shikadachi. Take it back. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. All good? Yes. Okay, excellent. Ready? H. Sit, nice control. Just pull it back lightly and land. Knee. Back. Sank. And back. She. And back. Go. And back. Other side. Okay. H. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Yeah. Okay. Right. So now we've put almost everything together. The only thing now we need to concentrate on the knee direction a little bit more. Okay. When you hit someone, we're going to say that here's their middle line. Okay. So I'll try and give roughly my middle line. Okay. When you deliver the kick, it doesn't mean that your knee comes to the edge of the body and then we come here, because that's when you start to pinch this hip back a little bit. So earlier on, we were doing this, coming through and down. And naturally, because we're doing a longer movement, that knee is coming to the center line of my target. Now we need to think about it when we do the full kick. Okay, so we're still going to go forward, but now we're going to be in a fighting stance. So we're going to be there, back, in, and then we're going to land in a fighting stance going forward rather than here. So now don't think about what your brain's telling you, or I need to bring this leg back. So let's leave this hip back a little bit. Think about what Janine was doing earlier. Out, back, out, back. What I was doing. Out, back, out, back. Foot rotation, hip movement. Rotate, move. Rotate, move. Open the hip up nicely for the kick. Deliver the kick. Pull back. Twist back into position. Center line with the knee. Then you can hit through the outside of the person's body. Okay? Everybody understand? Let's do the same as Janine. We'll do 3 relatively slow and 3 good fast ones. Giran, Chulan, or Jordan. It's all the same. Come around, back. Come around, back. Hit, around, back. Bang, in. Bang, in. But all the time, this knee tucked in, like I did earlier. Janine's out and back, like she did earlier. Very similar, okay? 3 fast, 3 fast. Over to she and Janine, where maybe her last kick, but I don't know. Okay, ready? Let's go. Open the hip, push it forward. Step forward into the stance. H, round back, down. Pull back. Knee, round back, down. Pull back. Hip going forward. Sun, around back, going down. 3 quick ones. Chew down, Jordan, get down, whatever you like. Ready? Tuck the knee in, then explode. Knee. Land in a good position now. Last one. Sun. Yeah. Good. Fantastic. Other leg. 3. Slowly stepping into the stance. Shoulder width apart. You know the train tracks, all that kind of stuff. Make sure it's right. Ready? H. Hit forward. Knee. Stand. And let's go. 3 quick. H. Knee. Stand. Shia. Good, good. One last thing. If you're working with a partner, and she and Janine was here, when they set off for the Mawashi, most of them straight away, they're thinking about doing this. So what I used to do is take the hand on the hip, and then as they start, push that for them. Okay? Then in their mind, they get this. They'll start, oh my goodness, and then they rotate, and it forces them. Practice that with a partner on the pad. They'll start to feel the weight go into the pad. Then it's just about controlling the end result from there. Okay? Hopefully it all helped. You know, if you're really at the stiffer end that I said about the kick, then I'm really sorry, but I think a lot of you will find it will help if you think about the technique and opening those hips a bit more. Over to this lovely young lady next.
Just grab yourself a drink. Young, I like that. You can
use
that often.
I got to see, the thing is, I've got to get my rate back down for next weekend because it went up to 60 and it's just, you know, COVID is killing me. Oh, that's a question to Shia and Janine.
No problem. Oh, Chris is gone, is he?
Casual, Chris. Yeah, normally he has another session as well, I think, today. So it's nice that he drops by in any case.
Jordan Yokogeri. Jordan my Yokogeri. At the end, I'll watch you doing it because unless I see you doing the kick, I won't be able to identify what seems to be holding you back. Thing is, you're very, very flexible. So physically, there shouldn't be anything stopping you doing it, but it may just be a technical thing. So at the end, remind us and I'll watch you doing them.
It may be that you're over flexible and don't have a muscle structure as well, because I've known a few people like that as well, that they just don't have maybe the muscle around the hip or something. But yeah, you can have a look.
The best thing you can do with these slow yokogeris is to build up the muscles all around your hip flexor. Because exactly. I was rubbish at doing yokogeris, and it was Sian Howard-Collins actually that taught me how to do it. When I was I was 11-year-old yellow belt, and Sian Howard-Collins visited the club, and he had me against a wall doing that, and I just practiced it. And now my club hit me because I have them all is holding their legs for ages in that position, which hurts, but actually your glute muscles, you can really feel them working, and that's what gets the power in the kick. So it might just be doing it slowly, but we'll have a look at the end just to check. I'll go quickly with the next one because I know Sensei Darren wants to fit another one in.
That's all right. You take your time.
I won't be long. We're going to work on kakigeri, but we're only going to do the one version so that Sensei Darren's got time to do the other version. And I think most people struggle with the chusaku for the control and bringing it back. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to do chusaku kakigeri, and then we'll move on. So the first thing I want to do, just from a Kodachi position, is just bringing it very, very relaxed, bringing your knee across your body. There, so it's almost coming to the opposite shoulder. Okay, but very, very, the one thing I would say with kakigeri, you have to be relaxing your legs to get a fast kick, because you go in one direction, then you have to change direction. So unless you're flexible and relaxed, you can't get the speed to get the technique in. Okay, so we're just going to bring the leg over, just up to your left leg, your right shoulder, just 5 times. Yes. Knee, san, and again knee high with every kick, all the knees. Shi, go.
Sure.
Now we're going to go to the other side. Ish, knee, san, shi, go.
Yeah.
And I guess every kick we've concentrated on is all to do with the knee of the kicking leg and the supporting foot of the non-kicking leg. So for kakageri, you have to open your hips up. So again, you have to turn. If you try and do, I'm pretty flexible. If I try and do a kakageri with my foot pointing forward, I go no. Okay, I have to turn so that I can open the hips up and get our leg around. So this time, we're just going to come up. You're going to concentrate on turning on the ball of your foot. There. You don't have to go all the way around like we did with yoga berry, but the more you pivot, the more you open your hips, and the easier it will be to kick. Okay? So we're just going to do 5, where you bring in your knee up and pivoting. Your left leg first. Ish. Knee. Sun. Shake. Go.
Yeah.
Good. Now the other side. Ish. Make sure you pivot. Knee. Sun. Shake. Go.
Yeah.
And from here, we're just going to try and add the last bit on. It's easier to do it quickly. We're not going to try and do it slowly, because unless you're very flexible and very strong, you won't do it. So you're going to come through, bring the knee up though, and then flick. So you're flicking it. It's very important to bend the leg. So you're doing that with your leg. Don't try and come up with a straight leg, which is what a lot of people do. It's got to be all in the flick. And that's how you can manage to bring it back. If you've got a straight leg, you can't bring it back because the weight of the leg going through and you go through. So it's there. Flick. In fact, just try that. If you've got something to hold on to, do that, or you can hold on to your back leg. You're just going to do some little flicks. There. Okay, so just coming up, just to get the leg just to bend in and back. Just back. Ish. Knee. Sun. Shake. Bring it back the same direction that it went. Go.
Shia.
And hand down. Ish. Knee. Sun. Shake. Go.
Shia.
Good. Okay, so we'll do it from a fighting stance now. Right. Coming at you. Right there. Still.
Yeah.
So you can think of the back leg. You're going to think about bringing the knee through. As you bring the knee through, you pivot around the back foot so that you start to open up the hips. And then you change your direction. Coming through and back. Must bend it. Don't try and do with a straight leg. Okay?
Awesome.
We'll just do 6. First 3, slow, or comfortable speed. And then the second 3, as fast and sharp as you can do them. We'll just get the technique on the first 3. Ish. Knee. Sun.
Yeah.
Good. Now as fast and sharp as you can. Ish. Knee. Open those hips up. Sun. Two.
Yeah.
And down. 3 nice and slow. Ish. Knee. Sun.
Yeah.
And get that knee up so you mount your knees a little bit low. And now 3 fast. Ish. Knee. Sun. Good.
Yeah.
And over.
Awesome.
Get yourselves a drink and circle your hips as you're doing it.
Ooh. Nice. We'll be kicking wizards after today, hopefully.
Either that or we won't be able to walk.
Yeah. It's true. One or the other. One or the other. Okay, so I'm going to work on some axe kicks as the last one. I was contemplating maybe Ishiro's, Ishiro Mawashi's, but we don't use axe kicks very much. Now, an axe kick, if you do it kind of basically, yeah, we're going to kick with a straight leg. It's going to come out like a sotomawashi, and then it's going to come down. Okay. Now, what loads of people tend to do is when they kick, they pull the toes right back. Now, that's okay if you have good flexibility, like she and Janine. But if you have maybe bad flexibility, it's better to point the toes and feel it like a maigiri. Because what that does is it relaxes off the hamstring. Relax off the hamstring, it stretches more, tighten up the hamstring, which I think you'll all agree that if you just put your foot on the ground and then touch the ground, or you pull the foot off the ground, you'll feel that the stretch is a lot more. So it's a fact, you know, you pull them toes back, your hamstring will tighten up. Okay. Second thing is we're going to cheat the system and raise the knee a little bit first. So we're going for more of a fighting version here. You know, if we can do Kyages here, you can probably do the kick basically correct. Okay, but we're going to go off the front leg, up, and then straighten the leg, and then bring it through. The trouble with an axe kick is everybody concentrates on it being right up here, and it just does this. Okay, whereas what we want is to push and pull it down so it has a good impact when we hit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to be hit and push down. Okay, this is where we're going to start off with. Doesn't have to be shoulder height. It can be kind of belt height and push down. But again, what I'd like you to do is open the hip, not here, going like this. This is stiff. This is restricting your limited flexibility potentially already. If you're super supple, you can get away with it, but there's not many of us about. Okay. So you need to make sure that you're here, open up, and then push down. Push down and a little bit forward, okay? So let's do our right leg first because it's probably everyone's good leg. We're just going to have it out in front and then push down. Have it out in front and then push down. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Then we're going to take it forward a little bit more than that, okay? So right leg, let's have it in front. Open them hips up already. Let's do half the work for us, okay? Up. In position, H, and then push down. Up, knee, push down. Sun, push down. She, push down. Go, push down. Okay, left leg. Ready, out. H, push down. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Okay. And what you're probably feeling is you're pushing one way and your body is starting to react the other way. So we've got like a counteract going on here, whereas your leg's starting to push down this way and your body is trying to stabilize you so you don't end up doing this. Okay, you end up here. Push up, forward, whip this way to get the extra distance going forward and the power going down. Okay, that's what we should be doing. Hopefully we are. Right, now what I want us to do, very similar start to Chien Janine with her Kyages. We're just gonna bring the leg up. We don't have to come across so much. We only want to come over this front arm. We don't have to come all the way out, over and back down. You can do. There are many ways to skin a cat, as they say, but we're not going to do that right now. Okay, so we're just going to be picking up here, keeping that nice and tight in, not quite all the way across here, but up more this way rather than around this way for the kake. Okay, let's start off with the left leg, because left leg forward. Ready? H. Yi. Sun. She. Go. Yeah. Change legs. H. Yi. Sun. She. Go. Yeah. Okay. Now, for many of us, as we were talking about just a minute ago, potentially with massive flexibility, or maybe just not enough power to kick off the front leg is quite hard to be able to get it up, kick it right down. So what we're going to do is we're going to be here, open and pull. Okay, so as we do the switch, we open our hips and then we start to pull off at this angle. Here I am, open, switch, come up at the angle. Open, switch. Again, I've already done the work. By this switch, this hip has come forward. Now I'm not switching straight. Then my hip is restricted. What I'm doing is I'm cutting off at an angle. So now my stance is pointing, give or take 45. All I need to do now is bring the hip up, and I've already done most of the work for the kick. Okay? Again, 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Just a little open, pull it up. A little open, pull it up. Okay? Let's go. Ready? Edge. 2. 3. 4. Go. Shear. Hey, change legs. Edge. 2. 3. 4. Go. Shear. Okay, now we've done all of them movements to start off with. We've opened, we've brought up, we've done the push down. Scientifically, let's add them all together. Okay, so nice and easy. Open, up, push down. Okay, here we are. Switch, up, down. Switch, up, down. Open the hip. You know, don't just switch this way and have this leg pointing this way. No, 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 no. There, switch, open, and then rotate that hip as the kick gets to the top. Rotate it so that we can push down. Okay? 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Done. Over to Shi and Janine for some stretching. Okay? Right. Left leg first. Let's go. Edge. 1, 2, 3. Knee. 3. 4. Go. Shear. And until change your legs. Same on the other leg. Edge. 2. 3. 4. Go. Shear. Yeah. Good. Remember, you get strong. I'm not saying that you can't kick with a straight leg, but if you're at the stiffer end, shorten the leg, straighten the leg, pull down the leg. It's a lot easier on your hamstring. Pardon me, sorry. Hopefully it helped out today. We're going to go to the flexible one over here rather than the flexible one over here today for some stretching. Okay, give yourself a quick drink, we'll be back. Running low on battery.
Okay. We start into a bit of a Kibadati, Shikadati position. It's a relaxed position here. And then very gently just push your knees out. You know, you can change the dynamics. You leave your arms where you are. You're trying to pull your legs in. And what your arms do is you're stopping your legs coming together. So you're not pushing out with your arms, you're pulling in with your legs. Ish. And release. And again, ish. And release. Ish. And release. Now place your hands on the outside You're going to push your legs out, but your hands are stopping you pushing. Okay, so you're pushing your knees out. Ready? Ish. Release. Ish. Release. Ish. And release. Hands on the inside one more time.
Push.
Put your knees in. Ish. Release. Knee. Release. Stand. Straighten the legs. Hands on the floor. Just gently take your legs out so they're comfortable, not too wide. And now alternating bending the right and the left. Ish, knee, sam, shin, go, rock, sit, hash, hew, chew.
Yeah.
A little bit wider. Same again. Ish, knee, sam, shin, go, rock, sit, hash, hew, chew. Just a little bit wider if you can. Ish, knee, sam, shin, go, rock, sit, hash, hew, chew. Come up a little bit. Turn to the right. Put your left foot flat on the floor. Right leg is bent in front. What I'd like you to do is push forward here so you can feel the stretch going down your hip flexor. Just a little bit further. Now come back and try and keep your front foot leg straight and try and sit back onto your heel. Okay, so your toes are pointing to the ceiling on your front foot. And now try and come forward, if you can, to feel that pull down your hamstring. It should be down the back of your right hamstring. If you've got bad knees, just be careful. Come up and take it forward again. So your weight is over your front knee and then push down that back hip so you feel the pull down your back leg, your hip flexor. And once again, come back, sit down on your back heel, front leg straight, toes to the ceiling, and if you can, bring your head down to your front knee. Make sure you breathe heavily when you stretch. Breathe out through your mouth. Take nice long breaths. You'll find you get a little bit extra stretch. Come back up to the center. And then turn the other way. So you're on your right knee, left foot. Push forward. Feel the weight down that back hip flexor. And come back, sit back onto your back heel, left leg straight, front foot, toes towards the ceiling, and try and come down if you can to the front knee. And forward again. Drop that back hip. And then back onto your back heel. And come in. And come out. Onto your back side. Soles of the feet together. Done a lot of work on the hips tonight. So we butterfly the knees. And push down. And butterfly. And push down. And butterfly. And push down. Okay, legs out nice and straight. An exercise very similar to what Sensei Darren did at the beginning, where he was standing up, but we're going to do a very similar sort of motion, but on the floor. So I want you to be very relaxed, and I don't want you to push this too much. It is a stretch, but it's a very relaxed stretch, and it's a rotational movement. So you're just keeping your hips nice and relaxed in the joints. So you're working on a joint movement. Don't sort of really try and get as far as you can. So you're just going to come down to your left leg first, and you're going to go around in a circular motion to the right and out. Okay? But try and, as you come down, breathe out and take a nice, long, deep breath out as you're traveling, because that should relax your muscles and should free up your lower back and your hamstrings a little bit so they can be a nice, smooth motion. But just go down as low as you can. Don't pause this. We're going left to right first. Ish. Remember, breathe out. Now right to left. Knee. Hands out. San. She. Go. Rock. Siege. Hash. Q. Je.
Yeah.
That's good. Come up and over. And then heels and toes in. Do some nice big hip circles. With not those hips. So as big as you can. Ish. Knee. San.
Oh,
Upstairs. Ish. Knee. San. Two smaller ones to the right. Ish. Knee. Two smaller ones to the left. Ish. Knee. And that's it. Us. Just shake your legs.
So that's it, guys. Hopefully you're all going to be kicking rapidly and really, really high in the future. First of all, absolute sincere thanks to She and Janine. It's always a pleasure working with her. You know, we like her a lot, and so do you guys too. Now, there's no point in doing one of these kicks and expecting it to become really, really good. The key to all of this is consistency. Consistently try to be in the right position, and you will find that things will not only be a lot better and a lot easier, you'll see a lot more progression. Okay, one of them 10 wrong, one of them 12 wrong. It's a starting point, but then you need to move to 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all of a sudden we're like hovering around the 8 to 9 to 10, getting them right all the time. Yes, we're not all blessed with flexible legs. We know this. So what you do need to really, really think about is correct body position for you. Not for me, because it will be slightly different, because I can potentially cut corners because I'm flexible. Maybe Damon can't. Mishi probably can, but she's struggling with X kick. Why is this? Okay, we all have elements that we struggle with. It's just trying to make sure that we all help each other fill in those gaps. Because if we can all do that together, well, then we can all kick nicely like She and Janine. Okay? Hopefully made the world of difference today, and that you will see a vast improvement, hopefully, in the future. Anything else to add there, She and Janine?
So listen, I really enjoyed that. I haven't looked at my kicks for a long time. And one thing I will say, I am flexible now, but I'm not naturally flexible. I have to really, really work at my flexibility, and now I've got to work to maintain. It's easy. I think it's easier to get if you're younger. Obviously, it's more difficult to become flexible as you're older. But I always say to my juniors, work on your flexibility now, because now you'll get it, and then it's easier to maintain. But once it's gone, it's gone. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not naturally flexible. In fact, I met somebody on a holiday when I was 23, who used to be my first karate instructor. And I said, do you remember me? And he said, no. And then he remembered I was a little fat one that used to sit in the corner. And he said, oh, I remember you were really stiff and quite chubby. And yeah, that was me. So it wasn't always there, you know, not some people are just naturally, why not? But I had to work through the mechanics to think, well, how do I get that kick right when I am with the flexibility? I've got a flexibility now, but it is a lot of other mechanics. So don't rely on your flexibility if you are flexible. Get the kick mechanics right as well. Otherwise, you'll be flexible but not effective. Yes.
That's a very good point. You know, I've known you can look at hyper, super flexible kind of gymnasts and, you know, ballet dancers, but can they kick properly? I mean, can they kick properly with power? The answer is probably no, but yet they're super flexible. So it's not always the reliance on flexibility that you can kick good. Glenn Sharp wasn't that flexible, but he sure knocked a load of people out with Jordan washes. You know, Nick DaCosta, not overly flexible stretching wise, can kick really well. Gary O'Neill, by all accounts, one of the greatest kickers in the game, apparently not that flexible, as in passive flexing. Wesley, the same. You know, we just need to find our gaps and fill them in. Technique. It will really go a long way. Good work today, though, guys. I've asked you all to unmute so you can go bananas. Again, thank you to Shi and Janine. It's always a pleasure.
Yes. That was great. Thank you very much, both of you.
Perfect session, especially for me, seeing I couldn't use my arms, so brilliant.
There you go. See, I wasn't lying. I said you wouldn't need
that's right.
It does happen once in a while.
Yeah, right in my... And even the kicks weren't too horrible.
Yeah, no Toby Maigedis or Toby.
Yeah, no spinning too much around. No. Yeah, it was excellent.
It's all Wesley. Wesley makes us do it, not me.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you both so much. Thank you.
It was really good session. I say it's great when it's broken down.
Yeah,
I agree. You know, and it does help people compute a lot better. You know, as Janine said, she had to put the pieces together. Fortunately, I was always flexible, but I worked to get really flexible. You know, and that's just the difference. Michi, you wanted some help potentially?
Well, first I wanted to just say thank you. This felt like a private session, basically. Like, thank you for breaking down all the kicks and all that stuff. So yeah.